Amanda Seiler's fifth grade class at John C. Myers Elementary School. The school is celebrating Black History Month by creating an African American museum.
The African American History Museum, each grade level puts on a display and we each get to visit throughout the day.
Each class was escorted through the Black History Museum by their teacher. The museum was created by students. It features exhibits honoring Thurgood Marshall and Rosa Parks, just to name a few.
We are all about hands-on learning, innovative learning, bringing new programs in, and just learning through experience here.
It was through the eyes of someone who lived through the Civil Rights era and attended segregated schools in Shenandoah Valley. Esther Nizer.
Sometimes they'll read it in the book and they'll just move to the next page. But this, they really seemed to want to know and wanted to ask and did ask some good questions. So that was exciting to be back in the classroom and to show younger people the history that's local. School was like a privilege, something they all wanted to do, but they all couldn't. I think it's important for the students to hear the history from someone who's lived it. I think it's one thing to read it in the book, but I think it's another thing for them to actually ask questions of someone who lived the experience.
She explained how very few Black children attended school in the 1920s because they were not allowed in white schools. But in 1921, Julius Rosenwald and Booker T. Washington built Rosenwald schools together.
He didn't complete high school, but he became president of Sears. Now, he didn't just call up people to come put up a building. He had students who made the brick to make the building.
Rosenwald funded the schools and Washington designed and built them. Nizer is a former student of one of the Rosenwald schools, Newtown School in East Elkton.
Funds had to be used, but community and the school had to give. That way everybody owned it. 364 were built in Virginia. That's a lot of schools. 2 in Rockingham County. Schools were built. No matter how much money was given, the school board owned them. Rockingham County Schools owned the building. So that was a good thing because then they would be maintained and they would be part of the Rockingham County school system.
Nizer says, unfortunately, not much has changed since the 1960s for Black students.
Well, I think the students are still experiencing the name calling. Students are still struggling, the African American students, with being the only African American in a classroom. And so those are experiences that we had that continues.
I spoke with some of the fifth graders about Nizer's presentation. Joseph Stambaugh described it as good.
Our school is better here because we got water fountains, buses, 2 stories. They only had 1 story. They had it old-fashioned. They had coal where we don't need coal. Their whole school wasn't as big as this whole gym.
Madison Keller says she enjoyed seeing all the pictures, but she added her school is different than Nizer's school.
All people can go here and everyone is welcome and you can meet new people.
Sean Federley says Nizer's presentation was fun.
I thought it was awesome. I didn't know what was happening.
Although there are only 20 African American students out of the 500 attending John C. Myers Elementary School, the school's principal, Rebecca Roadcap, says it is important to highlight Black history, and she says she too was impressed by Nizer's presentation.
I was blown away by her presentation. I did not know, and I'm embarrassed to say I'm a Rockingham County resident and have been for the majority of my life. I did not know any of that story about integration that took place here, so it was an eye-opening experience for me.
In Broadway, Elaine Rackley for Breaking Through News.